Really pleased to see a PvP that looked like that. It really does show you that you can turn a game around, even if you've been playing behind the whole time. I think PvP, it's, how do you say it? It's forgiving, but also so unforgiving in some senses.
Well, at the highest level, I think it's more unforgiving than it is forgiving, so.
Well, I mean, we saw, I think there was a moment when they got into that outside natural, and we saw 2 disruptors come in, and the connections were so good. And I remember, when the attack was happening, we were looking on this. I was looking at the screen at the supplies right before that, and Zest was way ahead. And after that went off, I mean, man, it just completely swapped.
Yeah.
And of course, when you have stalkers with a blink and the disruptors aren't around, like after an attack, you've used some of the disruptors, and then you have your remaining army, which is usually stalkers and an observer. I mean, you're going to win everything with the blink after that. It's crazy.
Because you know that your opponent is going to be on the back foot running away. So,
yeah.
Really good game there from Deer, coming back from adversity with that Dark Templar drop. So, congratulations to Deer taking out that game. But we'll talk about a next game, a bit more stats versus reality. As we see here, the play stats for both players. Stats actually has quite a nice win percentage in Pro League, actually, which is quite surprising. Reality, he's been around since the Brood War days, hasn't really done too well in, well, he was one of the first Terrans to qualify for WCS Korea back in 2012, I believe. One of the first Kesper Terrans, rather. And, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this game goes.
Yeah, his stats, he's also a guy that's pretty, usually has about, one approach if it's a series. I've seen a lot of this. We're just going to try that out over and over. But it's a best of one. I mean, you can try just about anything. And our game's actually already loaded up.
This is also the first PvT that we've seen so far today, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. So we're going to see how the game has changed with the Adept nerfs and the Mothership Core nerfs as well.
Wow. I'm in the minority here.
Yeah.
I think Reality is a safe bet, though. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, Reality is a really good player, but Stats is also a good player as well, so.
Yeah, who knows, man? We're going to go right into this. A lot on the line here.
Yeah, but as I mentioned before, the changes to the Adepts, the changes to the Mothership Core, completely has changed this matchup. So we're going to see how these players approach this match today in Pro League.
Yeah, let's see what happens. This is game number 4 here. Let's go. In the bottom left, in the red, pressure's on, he is Stats. In the upper right, in the blue, Reality.
Ruins of Seras, a very large map. It's cross positions as well, so it's going to take a long time for the armies to march across. And with the cross map positions as well, it's going to allow for really unique army movements because you have so much space to work with on the map.
Yeah, let's see what direction this takes here. It's a little bit less likely that you're going to do anything cheesy or weird on a lot of 4-player maps because there's more randomness involved for the guy that's doing the cheese. It's harder to calculate out how far the rush distance is or anything like that. There are some tricky things Protoss can do regardless because they can warp in wherever. But this should be one of our longer games here today.
Definitely. As we see here, pretty standard builds from both players so far. Stats going for a gateway first instead of a nexus first. Sometimes we see all races, Terrans and Protoss included, opting for the nexus or command center first on the map as large as this, but it looks like both players are opting to play it safe. Stats here, getting that nexus now, and looks like Reality is getting that first Marine out, then that command center at the expansion.
Yeah, and these are pretty conservative plays here. It's not too greedy. It's not too risky. And essentially mirrored builds for the respective races that they're at. Both teching at about the same rate. And we'll have to see, where does Terran go from here? Does Terran want to try to do some drops? Does Terran, oh wow, that's actually kind of big.
Yeah, I thought Stats would be able to walk through that Marine, but there's a bit of miscontrol there, moving it back and forth, and as a result, the probe couldn't get away from the Marine, and he's not going to be able to see what path Reality decides to take here with in his main base.
Now, most of the Terrans that we've seen, at least, do tend to tech up. I don't think there's any real merit in staying too mineral intensive. I think you do need to tech up as Terran, and I think the same is true for Protoss. There might be some builds where Protoss could do some kind of pressure build and try to rush Terran down, especially if they're getting greedy, maybe getting a quick starport too fast. But in this case, this is all pretty standard stuff.
We haven't seen anything abnormal so far.
Right.
We see the robotics facility for Stats. He definitely wants to get that observer out, considering he did not scout the main base of Reality. As he's going to keep pumping those depths out, so we'll see how, whether he'll go for... Okay, he goes for the Twilight Council, so I think we'll see that adept speed upgrade from there. Along with the upgrade, along with the War Prism, rather, from that robotics facility, we're going to see some... Actually, he goes for that observer after the... lost my train of thought there. So we're going to see these adepts being built, Twilight Council as well, most likely going to be that adept speed upgrade, as I mentioned before. And look, he's going to look to harass a bit with those adepts with the War Prism.
Yeah, and this is interesting because it seems like Terran is going to be going for an aggressive drop here. And we've seen this happen before in games, and it can get pretty messy. You can have two players hitting each other, and all of a sudden it depends on where the workers were and how well they pulled them away.
Actually going for a Blink Stalker, actually.
Yeah, well, I think this is pretty smart as well, because Terran relies on drops a lot, right? I mean, the Adept's been changed a little bit just recently with the patch, so maybe he wants to go for a different route, use these Stalkers, because Terrans have become so interested in drops. That's just out of vision range, right?
Yes.
That upgrade.
So he's not able to see the Twilight Council being researched. And is he going to snipe this observer? Oh, he doesn't see it. Unfortunately,
no, I mean, that's not good. Yeah, because Terrans have gotten so drop crazy, you got to be careful, man. If Protoss is really ready for this, they're just going to eat your drops. And then you're going to lose later on as they counterattack you. But this is a double-pronged attack. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That
was so close.
I was really lucky there.
He wants to hit in two locations at once here. He wants the Marines over here in the front, while the Hellions come in here and try to get the workers down now.
Workers getting attacked here by the Hellions. 6 to 7 probes actually going down here. And the Hellions are doing a lot of damage as in the main base of Stats, I believe, the Stalkers have reflected those. Oh, he loses the medevac as well.
Oh, man. Well, he lost the medevac, but he did get 11 probes.
Yeah.
What that does mean, though, is the worker count's about even. The dropping's not done, though, but Blink soon is going to be.
And
okay.
Once that Blink gets out, it's going to be really hard for Reality to keep applying pressure with these medevac drops, because the Blink gives you so much versatility moving around your base in terms of defending your drops. So.
You know, it's kind of funny. I want to praise Stats for spotting these drops, but there's really nothing to it. He's just sending his observers across the map to see where Terran's expanded to, and these drops are flying right by the observer. So he's going to come up here. Now, if Stats was, being vigilant, as he should be in this game, he would know that this drop's coming in here and be ready to blink at it.
As we see this Twilight Council is still Chrono Boosted. We'll see how much damage these Widow Mines do right now. Because there's no observers around the base.
It's like he's not even looking.
Oh, a nice splits there from Stats. Only 4 probes go down so far. That could have been a lot worse than it was.
Yeah, that certainly could have gone much more poorly. And we have the Warp Prism active now. Now, there's observers littered all over Terran's base. So definitely when Stats decides to be the aggressor, he should have... he should be hitting locations that are pretty much always going to be effective.
It's interesting to note that Reality hasn't taken a third yet, while Stats has. I haven't seen a command center built so far, so it looks like Reality is thinking of maybe doing a +1
Are you sure?
push here.
I guess you're right. I just assumed. But yeah, take a look at that. Well, I think he might have to. Stim's coming here.
I think it's going to be a timing push, because he's not getting that +1 armor as well for those ground upgrades. As we see the combat shields as well, We see a lot of barracks being built by Reality. No third base yet. But the thing is, Stats sees this. He's got so many observers in the base of Reality, so...
Unfortunately for Stats' sake, he's actually attacking into this, which I think is unwise, because if this guy's powering on 2 bases, you're probably not...
Whoop. These Reader Mines being dropped down. We'll see how much damage this does. Stats are really paying attention. 2 drones go, 2 probes rather go down along with the Stalker. As we see Stats trying to multitask Reality here. We'll see what he can pick off as Reality actually realizing that going for a 2-base power build is not the right choice. Gets that command center down, but that command center went down soon, really late.
All right, he's coming down now, stimming. You know, Reality, I was going to say, if he's just powering on 2 bases, you know, maybe it'll be a different story, but instead we actually see it's just going to be the 3rd command center coming up here, and he's going to try to expand, which will just be a little bit later. Yeah. And this is actually Stats keeping Reality on his toes right now.
Yeah, I love
this is pretty big.
I love this blink play from Stats, sniping that command center SCV that's always building over and over again. Delaying that 3rd even more, giving him that economical advantage. And Stats is actually going for a 4th base right now, which makes a lot of sense considering he pretty much has control of the game so far, using these Blink Stalkers to stop Reality from moving out.
And good job here, just gunning down that Viking, and then he backs out again. And you know, Stats is just upgrading everything.
And you notice here, every stim that Reality does drains energy from those medivacs. So
yeah, that's very true.
It's quite a minor victory there for Stats, forcing those stims out. As you can see, those medivacs can't really heal that army to its full right now. So.
And that's definitely something that becomes an issue, is when you get a trigger-happy, like a stim-happy Terran. As the game goes on, we already have 2 medivacs essentially depleted of energy here. 3 more back at home.
And like, with those medivacs, if there's a battle, those medivacs are pretty much useless. They're just a waste of supply basically unless you use them as dropships and drop around the map. But on a map as large as Ruins of Seras, I guess Reality feels compelled to use that stim pack to help move around the map, help keep up with the army of Stats so far in this game.
Medivacs are coming out now. We do have the War Prism looping around here.
How much damage this War Prism can do with these adepts. It's 1 SCV down, 2 SCVs down. Reality with a very Marauder heavily based army so far. We'll see if he decides to transition to more Marine.
Good job there by Stats, picking up and pulling out. And we have an attack over here down at the bottom center.
See if Stats decides to blink in and kill this army. Oh, that's quite a poor blink actually. Felt like we would have done more with that.
Look, he's ready, man. He's ready for Reality to try to engage into him. Reality may try to regroup and do another bigger attack here. Right now he's doing what we've seen pretty common now with Terrans, especially against Protoss, is just dropping in different locations and trying to wear the Protoss down.
I think a problem that Reality has had in his game so far is that he hasn't really bothered to drop since his initial harassment. Basically, his Stats has managed to get to plus 2/+2 already, basically unhindered. It would have been nice if Reality can't even get, he doesn't get that observer at all, which is unfortunate. He gets it now, but as I was mentioning before, Reality hasn't had the chance to attack those forges, and soon enough, Stats is going to be ahead in upgrades, because remember, Reality was very slow with his upgrades, so he's only getting his army right now and the engineering bay, giving a big window of time for Stats to do a huge attack. As we see a huge drop here in the main base.
Huge drop coming up here. And that's actually a kind of tricky angle right now for the Protoss to engage. I love the Psionic Storm planted just down there. We have a few Adepts coming in. The Stalkers now coming in for an angle. And you can actually see kind of a funny concave, convex situation. Protoss is actually just beginning to surround this from all sides.
And Reality has to back off there. And Medivac with the units there. It's unfortunate for Reality. He's pretty much stuck those medivacs with those units at that position, but it looks like Reality is actually just rallying a lot of units over to the base of Stats.
It's pretty smart. He keeps that 1 Adept there with the Stalkers, so we can try to blink and get that a little bit later on. And I don't believe that Reality is aware that there's actually something in the watchtower over there. Meanwhile, coming up here is a full-on engage here from the Terran coming down now. Protoss needs to get his army together.
But this is
nice.
Yeah, really nice defensive from Stats, and as I mentioned before, Reality is really behind on upgrades. He's only just started 2-2, and at this stage of the game, you should not be starting on 2-2. You should be keeping up with Protoss, and as +3 attack and +3 weapons, +3 armor rather for stats. The +3 weapons is nearly done for stats, and we're going to see an Oracle out, and I love seeing these Protossers getting that Oracle for that revelation to see where the armies of the Terran and Zergs, of their opponent basically, are Legacy Void.
I don't know if Reality can engage this at all. I think this is actually too small of an army. I'm not sure if Reality is actually in touch with just how big this Protoss army is. I think he's convinced that, or at least was, it seems like he's backing up now, convinced that there must be much less back there defending. But instead, I mean, he's just, Stats is finished the race, if you will, in the macro game here. And from here, he might want to debate just pushing forward now. Oh my God!
Drop, though, but nice Ionic Storm. We'll see if there's some feedback as well, but Stats pretty much eating that drop alive, and looks like Stats does not have to worry about those medivacs as much as he had to before. There's only a few units in those medivacs, so as we see here, Stats marching up. He's nearly maxed out. He's getting that 5th base up as well. Stats is in a really commanding position in this game, especially with that upgrade lead.
Okay, Stats is grouping up now here at the center right. And Reality is actually moving more towards the direct center. And this might cause Stats to cut off Reality's army. This is a funny position that they're in right now. Although it depends. If Stats goes towards the upper right, then maybe Reality can hit this army from behind. Oh, nice job denying that attack upgrade.
That hurts even more for Reality.
Which is pretty huge, by the way, especially in this matchup. Taking out the infantry range attack upgrade, I mean, it's really bad.
As Reality has to flee from his 3rd base. He's trying to get a perfect angle to defend from this attack, but looks like Stats is just going to back off doing the damage that he did so far, taking out 18 SCVs. And he's also getting that Tempest Tech up. He's getting Dark Templates to do some harassment. It's going to be really hard to see how Reality can get back into this game losing that command center.
Yeah, well, especially with the pressure on right now. Reality doesn't really have anywhere he can expand. He doesn't quite have an army that I think he can comfortably engage with. So he's setting up these Liberators. However, I think Stats can just keep playing keep away. As you can see here. Oh my God, that is huge.
Those medivacs had a lot of energy that could have helped in that fight. And as I see in the unit count, he's only got 6 medivacs. So, and with an army like this, it's not enough, especially with Storm, with Adepts.
Oh my God. The storms are continuing to come down here. And at this point in time, Stats has realized this is not the point of diminishing returns, quite the opposite. I mean, he's getting ahead exponentially as he engages further and further. And it does look like with 3 scans in the main for Reality to quickly evaluate how much he's lost.
Yep.
GG.
Really strong showing there from Stats. Very solid play there.
I love it.
One flaw that I noticed in Reality was that he was very late with his 3rd base. His upgrades were also very slow as well, so really good showing there from Stats.
Nice game. Stats, really good job. I mean, I'm really impressed, man.
So, looks like we're going to have our first ace match of this year's Pro League.
Damn right we are.
We have, the map will be Dust Towers, which nothing really amazing about the map, so we're probably going to see each team's 2 best players, which means I reckon we're going to see TY versus Solo again. I don't know about you, but that is my prediction for the ace match.
Yeah, I think we could have that. I think definitely, I don't know. Let's wait and see. Yeah, I'm excited though.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the... I think also because both these rosters are quite stacked, we might see players that have just prepared for the ace match. So you've got to remember, Samsung didn't play Hurricane, is an option. For KT, they have Leenock.
Yeah, who's always been good.
Yep, Leenock, Jakji, all these are strong players on KT as well. So yeah, I'm not really sure what we're going to see here with the ace match.
Expect anything. A lot is on the line right now. These 2 teams neck and neck. We've had some back and forth games, some brilliant strategies. This is a great first day here for Pro League. Guys, thanks so much for being here with us. And if you have anybody else out there who can tune in, tell them to join us over here at SPL2016. We are going to go on to our final match, the ace match of the day.
We're revealing our ace players here. It's dark here in the studio.
Ace type.
We're trying to see, actually we can't see who the ace players are from here, so we're just as surprised as you guys in watching online, so.
Team still deliberating. We're gonna have a look in a moment. Until then, we'll just keep staring at the letters ACE.
ACE, it spells out ace.
All right, let's see what it's gonna be.
As we're still waiting for the ace players. Oh, they're keeping us antsy here.
Man, yeah, I gotta say, you know, Zest played really well in that last game. Or not last game, the game before that.
Yeah, so, here we go.
Oh my God, okay, here we go, here we go. Oh.
Our players are...
We're waiting for them to announce it.
Zest versus Bravo!
Wow.
Bravo is the ace of Samsung Galaxy. What a surprise!
Yeah, that's actually not. I would have never guessed that.
I would have never guessed Bravo as well, but I guess Stork has a lot of faith in the team captain.
Wow, all right, guys, we're going to go to a 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll be going to our ace match with KT against Samsung Galaxy.